Hey, third and fourth grade drawing and writing club. It is so good to see you guys. If you don't know me, I'm Miss Watson. And one of my favorite things to do is to doodle and draw little pictures. And my second favorite thing to do is to write. So I love to draw little pictures and then write stories about them. So that's what this club is going to be all about. We're going to do some what's called directed drawing. So I will share my screen and talk to you guys through a little video drawing step by step different things. So we may draw cartoons, we may draw characters, we may draw buildings, and we're going to talk about characters. We're going to be talking about setting. We're going to be talking about all the story elements. So not only are we going to be drawing some really cool pictures, we are also going to be writing stories that go with our pictures. So today we're going to do one just for fun because this is our first time. So we're going to do a really fun one and we'll do our drawing first. So we'll do it step by step. I'll pause in between because, I got my paper out and I got to be ready. So we're going to draw together. So I want you to grab your notebook. These are the only things you're going to need. You got your notebook. You got a little, what's it called? Composition book where you can write your stories. You got a little tiny notepad for you to do your little drawings. And then you should have pencils, regular pencils and color pencils, because after you draw your picture, you're going to be able to also color it with your colored pencils if you want. Okay. So I want you to grab your supplies. I'm going to do a little countdown because if you were to ask my class at any point about countdowns, they love a countdown. It makes this go really fast and it's just really fun. So I'm going to do a 1 minute timer. And when I set this 1 minute timer, you are going to, in 1 minute, as fast as you possibly can without being injured, is grab your notebook, your little tablet for drawing, your pencil, and your colored pencils. Is everybody ready? Are you sure you're ready? All right. Here we go. Get ready, set, go. Notebook, little pad, pencil, color pencils. 45 seconds. Come back, do a little jig. Dancing always gets our brain moving. Ten seconds. All right. I hope you got all of your supplies. So hold it up, wave in the air. You should have your notebook. You should have your little notepad. You should have a pencil. And you might even have some colored pencils. Now, if you're joining my club and you're on here and you were ready with all of your things, great. That means you came and you got all your supplies. If you're joining my club and you do not have your supplies, then when you get to school, at some point, you can ask your teacher, these are the things I need. Can I talk to Miss Watson? Can I get these things for the club to make sure I have them? Okay, so you can talk with your teacher, make sure you have everything you need. I can make sure you get notepads and all of the things. But remember, we also are doing writing, so it's not just drawing. So I'm sharing my screen just like we do when we're doing virtual learning, right? So I'm sharing my screen, and these guys are one of my favorite drawing videos. They're amazing. I don't even remember his name. I've seen all the videos. I don't know his name. But it is on YouTube and it's safe. It's a safe video. And in this video, he is going to teach a directed drawing. And his son is also there to help, which is what makes it even more fun because we got a kid too. They will show their paper. So grab your paper. Mine's lined, but you want your little white pad. So grab it, grab your pencil. You probably got like an eraser and a sharpener as well too, so you'll have it. I will pause every once in a while, so don't stress about it. We'll pause every once in a while, that way you can kind of catch up if you're not quite there yet. Okay, so we're about to find out what you're going to draw, and I'm not going to tell you because it's a secret. So hold on, here we go.
Drawing something really cool.
A dragon.
Dragon.
All right,
We're
you
learning
got
all
your
our
marker.
techniques.
Yes.
All right, we hope you guys are going
They
to
have a
follow
marker.
along
We're gonna
with
use a
us. You
pencil
got
'cause then
something
you're
to
gonna
draw
color.
with and some paper in front of you. You ready to start?
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the lesson, we're going to color our dragons, and we're going to use yellow, orange, and red.
We'll do that
He's
too.
going to be a fire dragon.
The fire dragon.
So let's move those off to the side. We need those at the end, and we're going to
Fire
draw our dragon
dragon.
first.
Okay.
And up here in the top left corner, we're going to start with his head,
Here
and
we
we're
go.
going to use the whole paper. We're going to fill the paper with our dragon.
You have a little
First
paper,
up, we're
but you
gonna
can fill
start
the
with
whole
his
paper.
eye, and we're going to draw a curve.
There we go.
That's the top of his eye. And then we're going to draw the bottom of the eye, and it's going to be another curve inside of that one. And if we go too fast, what can our friends do?
Pause the video.
Yes, you can always pause the video.
Pause the video.
Now we're going to draw the top of our dragon's head. So it's a little S line that's going to start going over his eye and come down
Okay.
on his nose.
So little
and then right
S.
here, we're going to draw the front of our dragon's mouth.
Oh.
And I left a little gap, but you can connect it if you want. Now we're going to draw his mouth, and it's going to go up, back down, and then back up. It's like an S curve. Yes, and then we're
All right, let's check in. How are we doing? How are we doing so far? Really simple, really tiny. Here's mine. Oh, well, here we go. What do you think, everybody? I think he looks like a little nose. Super cute. He's cute right now. He's about to be fiery. Everybody ready? Here we go. Let's keep going.
going to come back the other way for the bottom of his mouth.
Okay. Go down.
Sweet.
Remember, you don't have to be
Now we're going to draw the
perfect. We're
bottom of
learning.
his jaw. So another line.
He's doing really
And then we're
simple
gonna
lines.
Draw the very bottom of his jaw.
I'm sure you have techniques from Mr.
Isn't that
Balgione's class you can
We
use.
got his
too.
head already in there.
Ooh, I gotta see
Now
it going,
let's
y'all.
draw his teeth, and we're going to draw zigzags going back
Teeth.
into his mouth. And I'm going to draw teeth on the bottom also.
Y'all, this is legit right here, y'all.
Now we're going
I
to draw
can't wait
his
to
neck,
see yours.
and we're going to start right here at the bottom of his head. We're going to draw an S line, comes this way and then back, and it's going to start his chest right down here at the bottom.
All right, how we doing? Everybody good? Hopefully you're good. There we
All right,
go.
so now we're going to draw the top of his head and his neck, the other side of his neck. So we're going to start here, and we're going to follow that line we just drew.
Looks like
Oh.
it looks like that dinosaur that's
Oh yeah, like a brontosaurus.
It so does look like a
It
dinosaur,
does.
y'all. Do y'all think it looks like a dinosaur? I agree. Curvy head. There we go.
Nice, good job. Now the neck looks really thin on both of our dragons, so let's make it thicker by drawing another line right next to it. This is going to be for his belly, or the design on his neck, which looks a lot like a snake. This could be a snake kind of a dragon.
How are we doing? So we got that extra line. He's giving like a little texture almost so that it's a little bit thicker. So when you go back in, you're able to color it in to make it really dramatic, right? Everybody caught up? Everybody good to go? Remember, we're practicing. This is the first one. We're going to draw a picture, and then I'm going to give you that an activity and an assignment that I want you to write. And you're going to get to be creative. You're going to get to write about anything you want. So you're going to take your picture and write about it. So let's keep going.
okay.
Yes, that looks really cool. Now let's add details to his head and coming down his neck. We're going to draw spikes
Okay.
on the top of his nose. And when I draw the spikes, I'm not going to draw them all the same. We're going to do zigzags, but some of the spikes are going to be really big and some of the spikes are going to be small. So we're going to
Some
draw
big,
small ones
Some little.
and then really big ones and some small ones, and then mix them up so they don't all look the same. And they can be a little messy too if you want. Now when I go down his neck, I'm going to turn my paper so it's a little easier to draw the spikes coming down.
So he took his paper from this and he turned it that we can draw his spikes a little bit easier.
Meet Editor X,
Uh-oh, we got a little
the
commercial
world's
here.
most advanced website
No,
design
these
platform.
videos and these commercials.
Made
They
for
get
you.
me, huh? Here we go.
Now at the top of his head, I'm going to draw even bigger spikes. Look at this.
Okay, so I'm going to pause
Maybe-
for a second because I want you to make sure you can get all your spikes. So you're getting your spikes and they're going all the way down the back. Remember that you can make really big ones. You can make really small ones. You can make it look any way that you want. I'm doing like some big, some medium, some small. It helps a lot if you turn that paper sideways, right? If my fourth graders can remember, lately in math, we've been talking about angles. And so a lot of these spikes actually look like they have a specific kind of angle. And you're probably thinking in your head right now, these little angles are a cute angle. So I'm gonna throw some math into our drawing club. All right, let's see what we got next. I think he's working on big spikes. Let's see if we can do them.
These are even horns, like big,
Oh.
huge spikes coming out.
Like huge.
Cool. Now over his eye, let's add more spikes going right over his eye, maybe for his eyebrow.
His eyebrow spikes.
His eyebrow has spikes. And then I'm going to draw more spikes coming down his jaw. And I'm also going to draw more spikes right here coming down his neck.
All right, so we got some over the eye. So get a few over his little, where his little eyebrow was. Remember that little curve that we had? Okay. Then next to it, you've got a few little ones kind of on his chin. It almost looks like he has like a tiny little beard, but he's got like spikes right here, right? And then there's some on his neck too, which is going to make it look really dramatic with all his spikes. How are you looking? How's everybody doing? Here's mine.
And maybe even some spikes coming down his jaw. Look
Ooh,
at that.
okay.
That's really cool. Now let's add a nostril, and we can put a little 6 for his nostril.
Little 6.
And let's add a tongue too. So right here coming out of his mouth, I'm going to draw a curve, a little J shape.
So he literally drew for his nose. If you saw that, he drew the tiny, tiny little number 6. So it's not going to look like a big old number 6 like you're doing math. It's just really, really tiny, right? And then for his tongue, it's just a curve. He got that little curve, right? All right, is everybody ready? We got spikes. We got spikes going up. We got spikes going down. We got him on his chinny chin chin on his side. And then we got his tongue. All right, here we go. Let's keep going.
And then on the bottom of his tongue, I'm going to draw another J shape coming around.
Okay, so it comes out the bottom
And
of
then we
his
can
mouth
connect
and
the two
connects with
lines
the
with
other
a
one.
V if we want to, or we could add more spikes. Maybe his tongue has
His tongue has
his
spikes.
tongue has spikes.
Everything that he has is spikes.
Oh, his tongue has spikes. Creepy.
All right, what should we draw
was
next? The
cool, though.
wings or the arms?
Let's do the arms.
Let's do the arms. You
Oh
want to
gosh,
save the wings
arms.
for last?
Yeah.
All right, we
Okay.
ready?
Let's draw. So this line, this is going to be the top of his arm, and we're going to draw him with 2 arms and no legs.
Okay.
So he's half snake, half dragon.
Okay.
So we got a line coming down, and then we're going to draw another line coming out this way. So this is where his elbow is going to be, and then we're going to draw the back part of his arm, and then it's going to bend here. We're going to come up and draw up to his wrist, and then we could
All right, so we got one little line connected down, and then the other one, it's almost like his little arms coming out, right?
draw his claws. So I'm going to draw
Claws,
a
all
C
right.
shape, and then we're going to draw another curve right here, and then another curve up close. Those are going to be for his fingers, and then we can connect them so that they look like claws. Now that he's 3D, so we need to draw the other arm. We're going to draw a bent line coming.
All right, so I'm going to pause for a second. Let me see if he moves his hand. Okay, so you can see it. You've got the little, like, almost like toenails, it looks like. He kind of cut them off. We could see, like, toenails with his little hand, right? Here's mine. Let's see if you guys can see. Right there. That's, do your best. So he's got the little toenails, right, for his little claws. Okay, let's keep going.
This is his elbow. And then draw the other part of his arm coming down and then bending up.
Okay, so his arm's bending. It makes it like 3D where it looks like it's coming like
Now I'm
out
going to draw
of the
this
page,
hand a
right?
little different. We're going to draw an upside down C, a rainbow line. And then we're going to draw another one right here, curve, and then one last one.
And then
coming
one more
back.
little, just like we did on the
And
other
then we
one,
can
right?
connect these. So I'm going to draw the first finger like that. Then the next finger. And then one last finger right here at the bottom. Connect it in. Oh yeah, that looks scary.
It's like he's like
Then we can draw the
grabbing
curves right here on his fingers for the fingernails.
look at your picture, you might be starting to think of what you want to write about.
Okay, now his arms
What's your
need
dragon
spikes
gonna
too,
do?
right?
Where's he gonna
Yes.
go?
So right here, I'm gonna draw
Is he
small
nice?
spikes
Is he
coming
mean?
out the back, but then as they get to the rest of his arm, I'm gonna draw bigger spikes coming up the back of his arm.
So
And
he's
I'll do
doing
that
little
same
spikes,
thing
and then they
on
get bigger.
his other arm.
Other arm's gonna have some too.
And maybe even, I'm gonna add even another row of
All right, so he's adding a few more. So I give you a minute because I want you to be able to catch up. A few more, like really big ones, across his arm too. We'll make sure y'all can see this. Oh my, he's in the corner. There he is. We're getting there. See, he added some more spikes down at the bottom down here.
spikes on top of that. Now we've drawn a lot of spikes, but you guys at home could draw different details on your dragon if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Now,
so
let's
later
draw the
when you're
wings.
coloring, if you want to
Okay,
add different
we're gonna
things or
start
more
right
spikes,
here,
you can do it.
right at the top of his neck, and we're gonna draw a curve that comes up.
Up. Little curve up.
So now we're gonna draw spikes right here where his wing bends. And then we're gonna draw the rest of his wing coming way over here to the corner of
Okay.
the paper.
Going
Good
way
job.
up.
Now let's draw the other side of his wing. So we're gonna start here on the corner and we're gonna come down, and as we get closer to the bend, his elbow, we can get further away. See how it gets thicker right here? And
So
it's
thin
up
to thick,
Now
right?
let's finish the rest of his wing
Got another little
down.
cute angle.
and into his body. Now we're going to draw the rest of the wing. And so we're going to draw these, they're spikes, I guess, kind of. They're like spines coming out. And we're going to draw this, we're going to draw them the same way that we drew the end of this wing, where we come back and add a thickness.
Skinny to big
Then we're going to turn our
again.
paper and
Turn it sideways,
draw another one.
right? Get another one in there.
Good. Now we're going to draw one more.
I might have made mine too thick, but we got it.
Yes. Now the next one we're going to draw down here. So these three we drew right
We got
next to each
four,
other. This
right?
one's going to come down.
4 coming out.
And it's going to be shorter than the other ones.
And we got one more that's short.
Nice. Now we're going to come down a little further. And we'll draw another one. And this
Another
one's going to
one.
be even shorter than that last one we drew.
Yeah, it looks like he's got little
Let's
spikes
do
on the
one
end.
more. Shorter. And then one last one even shorter.
I feel like that's why it's really important to put your paper sideways,
Cool. Now
because
we
then you
need
can
to
actually
connect
get it in
these
there.
with a curve. So watch this. We're going to curve down and then back out and connect.
Oh, you see what he's doing? Okay, so you got your lines. Now connect each of those lines. So you kind of, but it kind of like goes in. So instead of just going straight, you're going in, right? Okay,
This
I
looks
think
a
he's
lot
doing it
like
with
a
all of
bat
them. Let's
wing.
see.
Then we're going to do the next one, connect it, and go through the whole wing and connect each of these spikes or spines.
That looks so cool.
Good job, man. That looks awesome. He only has one wing now.
Yeah.
He needs
So
a second
cool,
one.
y'all.
So let's draw that
I
second
bet yours
one
is
right
amazing.
behind
I can't wait to see him on
the
Thursday.
first wing we drew. And it's also going to go behind his neck. So we connected it to his neck. We're going to imagine it coming up right here at his neck and then bending. So we're going to bend back. What did we do next on this wing?
Go back.
Yes, we start up here, go back.
Okay, so he added this little piece right there, right in the middle, right? And then we're adding another spike on the back.
And add a thickness to it. And then we'll come down here and draw the rest of it. Cool. Now let's add those little spines. So we're going to draw another one right below it.
Got another one in there.
And then the next one is going to go behind the wing. So we're going to stop right there and then come back.
So it's kind of like you can't see the rest because it's behind the wing, right? It's like hidden a little bit.
Good. Now there's one more, right?
Yeah.
And we drew 3 that were kind of coming out of the same spot. And then we're going to go down and draw the next one. And then down again. And then we don't really have room for another one unless you do. You can add a little one. We did it. Now we need to connect each of these. And I just have room to connect 2. Now we have 2 wings. This one's in front of that one. It looks 3D, right?
Yeah.
Because of overlapping.
Yes.
All right, let's draw the rest of his body.
Oh yeah, because you can't see
this
the
line,
rest,
we have
right?
2
You can only
lines
see
for his
part of it.
neck coming down. We're going to have those 2 lines come back underneath his arm and connect into our wing.
All right.
So there's one line. There's another line. Look at that. See how they look like they continue through his arm? Now this part of his body is going to curl up.
So if you look at that close, it does look like it came from here across, right? It connects to like where his belly is. All right, we're almost
behind
there.
his wing, come down and do a loop, and then back up the paper, okay?
Roller coaster.
Yeah, it'll look like a roller coaster. And if you want to make that a little simpler or a little easier, you can just have the belly or the tail come down and back up. You don't have to do the loop. So here we go. We're going to draw the first loop. We're going to come out right here, come around,
All right, we got
do
little
the
loops
loop,
coming.
and then back like that. Cool, good job. Okay, now
I
we're
can't
going to
wait
draw
to
the
see
other part
y'all's.
of his body, and if you run out of room, you can just imagine it going off the page and coming back. So we're going to start here,
Scoot
come
me over a little
around.
so y'all can see.
and I ran out of room, and we'll imagine it going off the page,
So there comes the other
coming
one,
back, and looping back up.
looping through.
Good, now we have this inside line, right? So we're going to draw the inside line coming around. Coming back up.
We've got another
Good.
little
Oh, no,
line
that's cool.
inside.
I like that. And then it tapers off and maybe it's behind. All right, now let's draw his tail coming right here, coming down and then back up.
Oh,
So we're going to draw the bottom of his tail coming down and up.
all right. So you should have had that little curvy part right, and then now you've got his tail going up.
Good. And then we're going to draw the top of his tail. And as we get to the end of his tail, we're going to get closer until we come to a point right at the end.
So add another little section of his tail up.
Now
Wing.
again, if this part was too tricky, you could just have his tail come down and up instead of doing this loop. Now I'm going to draw that one last line right here, and it's going to do what you did. Come in and taper in. Whoops. Taper in right at the bottom and finish.
Kind of gives some like texture
This
and
part right
thickness,
here.
right?
So this part, so this belly line that comes down and it tapers in, I did that over here.
Oh.
Now we're going to draw the scales going down his belly.
'Kay.
And we're going to draw them like a ladder. So we need
Oh,
to turn
this
or
is
like
good,
a roller
y'all.
coaster track.
So little lines
Yeah, remember how you said it looked like a roller coaster?
going
Yes.
We're
across.
going to bend these lines as we go around the turns. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Now what are we missing on his tail?
The spikes.
Yes, we
Oh,
need spikes.
yeah.
So we're going to start right here. And remember to change them. Make them some small, some big.
Okay, so you'll notice, here's my little mouse. So he put the lines here, then down here as his belly, and then on the inside. So make sure you've got it on the inside of that circle too. And he kind of curved them a little to make them look cool, right? Like the kid said, it was kind of like a roller coaster, right? And now he's adding spikes. So let's add a few more spikes.
Go all the way around. I'm going to come out over here. And then on the end of his tail, I'm going to get smaller and smaller until you can't see him. I even added spikes on his hands. I couldn't resist. We finished it, man. Did you have fun?
Yes.
Now we need a color, and we're going to fast
So
forward.
if you want some spikes on his hands, he's got some on his hands too, right? Okay, so add in some of your like final touches really quick. Everybody ready? Add those final little touches really fast. Oh, I bet y'all's is amazing. I cannot wait on Thursday to see. So here's kind of what mine looks like. And I'll share mine a little bit more on Thursday too. So what I want you to think about as we're doing this is we're going to pick a writing skill or a story element that we want to work on every time that's going to go with our drawing. So I thought for this first one, we would get a really fun and we would talk about setting. So I want you to think for a second. In class, 3rd and 4th graders, you should know what is a setting. So if we're thinking about the setting of a story, what does that mean? So I want you to think for a second. Take a minute. Setting. Okay, anyone know? I hope some of you are saying it right now. Setting, yes, is where the story takes place. Where the story takes place. Now, we did not read a story about a dragon, did we? Now, some of you might be in book club, so you might be reading, but all we did was draw. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our drawing and you are going to create a setting for this dragon. So on your paper, you might want to draw something behind. Maybe you want to draw like a castle back behind. Maybe you want to draw some mountains. Maybe you want to draw him flying over a little town. So maybe you want to draw a little town down here. So here's one of your first assignments. So your first assignment is you're going to finish your setting around your dragon. So you're going to create some sort of setting of where this dragon is. Is he in the mountains? Is he flying over the city and the town? What is he doing? Maybe you want to draw fire. Maybe he's breathing fire. So I want you to create a setting for your dragon. And then I want you to color. So you're going to grab all those colored pencils that you have that you got. If you want to use crayons because you don't have colored pencils, that's completely fine. Don't use markers because if you use markers, it's going to cover up all those little wonderful lines that you made and it'll look weird. Okay. So first step, create the setting. So use your pencil, draw the setting, maybe draw a town, maybe draw hills, whatever you want to draw to create the setting. Remember, the setting of a story is the story element where the story takes place. Okay. So you're going to draw your setting and then you're going to grab your colors and I want you to color it. I want you to color it in really good. Think about all of those tricks that you've learned from Mr. Falgione in art about shading or making one area light and one area dark. We're not going to talk about those a lot because we're going to focus more on the writing part of it. Okay. So step 1, setting. Okay. That's your first job. Step 2, anybody remember what did I say to do? Yep. You right. Color. So then you're going to color. That's fine. You can play some music. You can just hang out and color. These are all the things you're going to do when you get off this video. So when you finish watching the video, you're going to grab your paper and do the rest of the assignments. Because on Thursday, when you jump on my live link, like you used to with virtual teaching, or maybe you're doing virtual right now, some of you are, then you're going to, after you watch the video, jump on the live link on Thursday and we're going to share. Okay. So setting, create your setting for your dragon. Color with your colored pencils or crayons. Then the last and final thing that you are going to do is sentences. Now, some of y'all right now rolling your eyes. I thought this was just drawing club. No, we're drawing and writing. And the reason for that is we gotta have a story to go with this picture. We can't just have a picture all by itself. Cool dragon with a cool setting. No. We gotta have all of it together. So your last step is to write 5 sentences about your dragon. So I want you to think about what you could start with. Maybe it is a scary, dark town and the dragon shows up. Maybe it's the people living in the hills and the dragon shows up to find food. You make the story any way that you want, okay? But make sure in your story you're describing the what? What did I say? The setting. This is our story element we're talking about this week. Setting, okay? So quick review. You're watching my video. Thank you for coming. And when you get off my video, you have 3 jobs. All right, everybody say number 1. Thank you. Is create a setting for my dragon. Draw the town underneath, draw mountains, whatever you want. Everybody say number 2. Number 2, thank you. Is you are going to say where this, you are going to color, setting, where your story takes place. You're going to color. You grab your color pencils, color your picture. It's going to be beautiful in your little notebook. Then grab that big notebook that I gave you that you have. If you don't have that, grab some paper somewhere or do it on the back. You're going to write 5 sentences about a story about this dragon. Do I have to tell you what it's going to be about? No, because that's all up to you. Be creative. It can be any way that you want it to be. The story can be about anything that you want. Be creative. Think about using all those adjectives, those really good describing words. So don't just say he flew over the town, but maybe the big red scary dragon flew over the dark quiet town, right? I want to get those words in there so we're really creative and descriptive. Because remember, as we're writing and we're learning to write more and more and more, especially as testing's coming, we want to make sure we can write really good stories with descriptive words, right? We want whoever's reading the story to be into it. And this is exciting because after you're done with this today, so when you're done watching my video and hearing me talk, you're going to go draw your setting, color your picture, and write your sentences. And then tomorrow, Thursday, 4 to 5 o'clock, you are going to jump back on and you're going to click on that live Teams meeting. And we're going to get together live on the screen, just like we do in class, right? So we're going to jump on and everyone is going to get a turn, as many people as we can, to share. So you're going to hold up your picture that you created with the setting. You're going to show us all your amazing colors, and then you're going to get to read your story. Now, if you're a little nervous about sharing, that's okay. You can just be thinking about it. Maybe next week you can share, or the next week if you're not quite up to it yet. But I'm going to need some amazing people out there to help share their stories because we want to hear it. And remember, we're making it creative because we don't want anyone falling asleep over reading their story because that would be awful, right? So for the next about 30 minutes, you've watched my video, you saw how to make your drawing, and you know what our skill, our story element is. We're talking about setting. So you're going to jump off when this video ends, exit the video, and then grab your paper, find a cozy spot somewhere. You can lay on your bed, you can sit on the floor, you can lay on the floor, whatever you want to do. And you're going to create your setting with your dragon, color your setting in your dragon, and then write 5 sentences. Yes, you may write more if you want to, because I know some of you are asking that question right now. And then tomorrow, Thursday, again, 4 to 5. Check our page, and you're going to join me for a live meeting so we can share what we've learned and how amazing your drawings are. All right? So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Make sure you join our meeting. And the next few minutes, work really, really hard. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what you guys came up with. All right? See you tomorrow, guys.